Elise Pickett here with the Urban Harvest, and today I am going to talk to you about how to add a little fertilizer if your plants need a little extra boost. There's a huge array of fertilizer options out there available to you for the organic farmer. If you go and click the link below, it will take you to my recommended products page, which talks about all of the different varieties that I like to use in the garden. But today I am going to be using worm castings. Worm castings are my preferred fertilizer amendment. If I could only have one thing, it would be worm castings. They really add to the soil health. They add a ton of microbial activity, so nutrient dense. You can use it as a water-based soluble topical fertilizer, or you could use it as a soil amendment like I'm going to do today. It's just a really, really heavy hitter for the garden. What I'm going to be doing today is adding the worm castings around the base of the plants as a top dressing. What it basically is doing is giving a ton of nutrients in the general vicinity of the plant's root base, so that it's kind of like a slow release fertilizer over time instead of a water-based one where it's like a quick hit and run type thing. That's why I typically, if I'm able to, choose to go that route instead of a water-based soluble fertilizer, just because it's adding to the soil health instead of just a one-time thing and continually having to do those one-time things. This one is going to be building up your soil, which is ideally what you want in your garden. I'm having to amend these beds because they're new. They've only been in the ground one season, and I had to purchase bulk soil to get this site started. So when you purchase bulk soil, even though you do your best and amend the soil in the beginning, the soil health just isn't there right away. So for the first several seasons, even a couple of years, depending on how much and how quickly you're adding to the soil, you are going to have to add into the garden on a regular basis to get things up and going. Worm castings are great because a little bit goes a very long way. So my tomatoes here that I interplanted into the garden, which I discussed that in my tomato planting videos. So if you click the little card over there, it will take you to that video where I talk a lot more in depth about why I chose to interplant my tomatoes. We're gonna be top dressing the tomatoes in the bed with a little bit of worm castings. Tomatoes are doing okay, not great. So I want to give them a little extra nitrogen, a little extra fertilizer. They're very, very needy in that way. All you're gonna do is take about one handful per plant, not all the way up against the stem necessarily, giving it just a little bit of space, but you're just gonna kind of scatter one handful of worm castings in and around each plant. The nice thing about worm castings is that's pretty much all there is to it, especially when you're doing a top dressing like we just did. You water on your normal schedule, and the fertilizer, the worm poo, will slowly seep into the soil and nourish your plants. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below if there's other fertilizers or amendments that you like to use in your organic garden. I always love trying and hearing about new and different things. Happy planting!